Good morning, everybody. Can my folks in the back hear me? Cole? Yep. All right. Chief Wall? Tom O'Brien? I can hear you. All right. Excellent. Well, good morning, everybody. We'll get started. We have a full panel, as you can tell. Again, my name is Josh Cutler. I'm the state representative here in Pembroke and also Hanson and Duxbury. And along with Senator Vinnie DiMacedo, we're proud to represent Pembroke, and so pleased that all of you could join us for this special forum, which we call, ready, all together? We're all in this together, right? Let's try that again. That was kind of weak. All right, 1, 2, 3. We're all in this together. All right, that was better. So the idea here is there's tons of great services out there that are available to help folks, whether it's yourself or a family member. Everybody has times in their life when they have a time of need, and just knowing where to go and who to connect with is oftentimes the most difficult part of the process, finding where to get the help. And there's lots of great help out there. We've got some great folks here. We're going to talk about some of the services that they provide. And we'll have time for questions at the end. And also, so we got some great lunch from Lori and Brian Fildelli, or I'm sorry, Fork on the Road in Pembroke. So again, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get started. We have a couple of guests I just wanted to acknowledge before we move on. Again, I want to thank Senator Vinnie DiMacedo, our co-sponsor. I want to thank Anna Siri, the Council on Aging Director, who's actually off-site today, but was very helpful in terms of getting us access to the room, and all her great staff to help out this morning. I have to thank, and I have to give a quick plug. I don't normally like to give plugs, but I'm related to her. I have to give a quick plug to my mom, Suzanne, and the folks at the Friends of the Council on Aging who are selling this great recipe book, which includes a recipe from yours truly, to benefit the Council on Aging and all their programs and so forth. So take a look. I think they're just $10. Is that correct? Yeah. Right outside. So thank you. Wanted to thank and acknowledge our great Chief of Police, Rick Wall, is in the back. If any of you guys misbehave, right? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Chief Wall. Want to thank our Plymouth County Treasurer, Mr. Tom O'Brien, a great friend to the town of Pembroke in the Plymouth County. Thank you, Tom. And I think I got everyone, so we're going to dive right in. We have a couple of guest speakers who are coming a little bit late, and we'll acknowledge them as they come in, but we have a great crew of folks who are here already. We're going to start. I said we had a good murderer's row here, like the 27 Yankees. We're going to start with Mr. Clarence Weeks, who's from the Department of Unemployment Assistance. He's a communications officer. Is that right? And compliance officer. All right, that sounds much more official. And he's going to talk about what services the Department of Unemployment Assistance provides. Thank you very much.
All right, again, my name is Clarence Weeks. How is everyone doing today? All right, I'm representing the Department of Unemployment Assistance. Can't hear you. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So the mic is just for cable access. It doesn't project, so we do need to try to project.
Okay. All right, so a little about myself. I started with the Department of Unemployment about 8 years ago. Started off as a claims taker, moved up to adjudication, became a supervisor. When they rolled out the new online system, I became a super user, trained people to navigate throughout the screens, and now I'm a compliance officer. Okay, what is unemployment? Unemployment is basically a temporary income to help people that are unemployed through no fault of their own. You have to be seeking work, though. Okay, it comes from quarterly contributions from each employer in the state, does not come from any of the employees. So it's strictly funded by the employers, 100% funded by the employers. Okay, unemployment started in 1935 underneath the Social Security Administration Act, and it's been helping millions of people across the country since. All right, how do you qualify? There's two ways to qualify. First way, you have to work within the last 4 completed quarters and make at least $4,300. Okay, second, how to qualify is you have to be separated by this company for a non-disqualifying reason. Okay, there are many different options to file a claim. You could do it online, you could do it by phone. There's career centers and there's walk-in centers also. Okay, once the claim is filed, roughly takes around 21 days to process if the forms come back. So once you file your claim, we send forms to the employer. We ask them for wage information and we ask them for reason for separation. As long as the forms come back, lack of work, laid off, takes roughly around 21 days to process. If the forms come back saying you quit or you were discharged, it could take a couple weeks to process, to investigate and process that. Okay, once you are deemed eligible for benefits, you have to complete a weekly certification. Upon that weekly certification, it's asking you, it's going to make sure that you're able to work, you're available to work, and you're actively seeking work. Those are some of the main requirements. And you also have to keep a work search activity log. Okay, the work search activity log basically consists of, you have to look for on 3 different days throughout the week. So Sunday through Saturday, 3 days out the week, any 3 days you want. You have to look for one job a day and just log it down in a notebook. It can be requested at any time randomly. Okay, if you don't have it, there will be an overpayment basically if you can't provide it, because according to the law, you have to be able, available, and actively seeking work. Okay, so once you are deemed monetarily eligible, that you have made enough money throughout the last 4 completed quarters, you will receive a monetary determination in the mail. And basically what that says is you made enough money to qualify monetary. Now you still have to go over the separation or reason for separation. So once they deem the reason for separation, it's say for instance you become denied benefits, there's an appeals process. You have the right to appeal, go to a hearing. If the hearing's decision upholds the original decision, you could appeal to the Board of Review. The Board of Review upholds that original decision. You have the choice to go to your local district court and file an appeal there. Okay, once you are eligible, again, you have to do every week in order to receive benefits. Every week you either have to go online or call in on the telecert. The telecert is an automated system. Basically, you put your social security number in there, you have a PIN number, and you answer questions basically during the week, whatever week you're in. Were you able to work? Were you available to work? And were you looking for work? Those are the main requirements, and don't forget your work search activity log. Okay, and one other requirement is during the process of your unemployment claim, the feds require everybody to go to a career center and sign up for reemployment seminars. There, they go over your work search activity log. They help you update your resumes. Training out there, some of the career centers offer training opportunities. We also offer a program, Section 30, where it waives the work search activity log, extends your benefits out while you're trying to find a new career. Say, for instance, you're in one career, you don't feel like it's going as good as it needs to go and you want to change. Sometimes you could go ahead and switch careers and they'll extend your benefits out so you can collect extra 20 weeks. That's basically it. Maximum benefit rate is 742, it's highest in the country. Maximum number of weeks, 30 weeks you can collect, highest in the country. $25 per child. If you have a dependent, they give you $25 per child. That's basically it.
Yeah, so the idea is, thank you so much. So, you know, they're going to give a quick overview, and then folks will stick around. If you have individual questions, they'll have an opportunity afterwards to ask them, and if you want to get kind of more information and logistics, you can follow up. So thank you very much. You did a perfect job. Thanks for leading off.
Thank you.
Round of applause. You're going to talk about fuel assistance? So, all right, next up we're going to talking about fuel assistance. South Shore Community Action Council, if you're not familiar, is a social services agency that covers our region and provides a great array of services, not just fuel assistance, but I think Lisa's going to talk about fuel assistance, but there's a lot of other things that they're involved with as well. So please, again, feel free after the fact to come up and talk and ask future questions. So without further ado, Lisa Spencer from the South Shore Community Action Council as Deputy Director. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for having us all this morning. I'd like to shout out as I start to a member of our Board of Directors, Pam Blades is here from representing Pembroke, and we have another representative on our board as well, Linda Osborne. So Pembroke is very, very well represented, and again, thank you for having us. South Shore Community Action Council runs a variety of programs. You've probably seen our transportation vans around on the South Shore. We have 43 handicapped accessible vehicles and about 50 employees in the transportation program. Most of the transportation is for elderly and disabled, so all the vans are lift equipped, and you know, it has good visibility for the agency, so that might be a program that you or some family members might be familiar with. I'm here to talk about fuel assistance, but quickly we do also run the Head Start and Child Care programs. We have a site in Marshfield on 832 Webster Street and a big child care facility right in Plymouth at 196 South Meadow Road. We do have other programs. We have a food resources warehouse. We provide free donated food and sometimes purchased. We have a Healthy Harvest program with some local farms that we purchase food from with grant money in the summertime. And that's another opportunity for us to get to interact with local councils on aging. because we purchase the food from grant money, but we donate it to the Councils on Aging and elder services agencies, child care programs, and so forth. So that might be another way that you know the agency. But I'm really here to talk about fuel assistance. It's the program that we offer with the greatest reach. We have 39 towns across the South Shore, and we also provide fuel assistance on the Cape and Islands. This year, there's about $7.5 million available for fuel assistance, and in an ordinary year, the program would be closing for intake on April 30th. This year, however, the program will be open for new applications through May 12th. So I'll give you a couple of income maximums that would help you gauge whether or not you might be eligible. But I can tell you across the state, our service territory from Hull south to Wareham and the Cape and Islands, we are the agency that has the highest population of elders. So we have many, many households on Social Security and maybe a pension. For example, a household of one, the maximum income is $34,001. For household of two, it's $44,463. So if you, and certainly it goes up the range depending on the number of household members. There's information in the back that describes the fuel assistance program, but essentially it's a payment that goes to whatever the primary vendor is. So you apply for the program either in our office in Plymouth, or we have 59 outreach sites across the South Shore, Cape and Islands. So you can apply locally. Pembroke Council on Aging is one of our outreach sites. And you bring with you proof of your income, proof of your identity, so we could take a copy of your license, and proof of your street address. We would need income for all members of the household, 18 and older, and the applications are then processed at the Plymouth office. And when you become eligible, again, we have about 150 oil, propane, coal, wood, kerosene, and of course utility vendors. And the payments, bills are incurred. We pay the bills on the client's behalf. And the other important factor with fuel assistance is it entitles a household to discounts on utility bills. So it's not only the fuel assistance itself, it's the fact that the program's eligibility for the program entitles you to 12 months of discounts on your Eversource or Ngrid bill in this territory. So it's a important thing that provides access to other services. A couple of the other services run by our agency that it entitles you to are weatherization for your home. So whether you're a homeowner or a renter, you could potentially be eligible to get entirely free weatherization assistance. So that's assistance with having your home insulated and made more weather tight. That's funded federally, and we also have money from private utilities, so Eversource and Ngrid in this territory. And it's, again, if you're eligible for fuel assistance, you're eligible for weatherization. Another energy program you're eligible for, if you're eligible for fuel assistance, is the Heating System Repair and Replacement Program. So if you have a problem with your heating system, we have about 50 local vendors, any of the vendors that are fuel assistance vendors that also offer heating repair. We have separate contracts with them for heating systems, and we're able to provide in probably more than 99% of the cases entirely no-cost repairs and replacements. Again, it's fuel assistance eligibility. That's the key to accessing that service as well. I also have some flyers from the local utility. We do AMPS audits, which are appliance management program audits through, in this territory, National Grid. We also, in the Duxbury territory, would be Eversource. So we have a couple of consultant energy auditors that come to your home and they'll meter your refrigerator and ask questions about your use of light bulbs. You could potentially, depending on how old your refrigerator is, and whether or not you still have old-fashioned light bulbs or are interested in the new LED light bulbs, you could get potentially a free refrigerator replacement and free energy-efficient light bulbs. So that's what I'm here to talk about. And if you have any questions, I'm available at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so again, folks, there's all kinds of great information on the back table if you want to get more information about all these things. It's just to kind of give an overview, and then you can get details. So next up is Jacqueline McClellan, who's from the South Shore Career Center, the business service representative. Welcome, Jacqueline.
Oops, I'm not going to take the table.
Yes, and project.
Good morning. If you can't hear me, just raise your hand and I'll talk louder. I'm Jackie McClellan. I'm a business service rep, and I represent both the Quincy and the Plymouth Career Centers. We do a lot of services for job seekers who are looking for positions. We work with the employers who come into the career centers with recruitments. They end up coming to our career fairs, and they also post all of their jobs online. So if you're interested, I have information out on the table, and you can go online directly from a computer at home or go into one of the career centers and use our computers in our resource room. We also have an area in our career center that we have for UI claimants, unemployment claimants. So if they're having trouble at home or online getting, services to how to apply for their unemployment, they also end up being able to utilize one of our counselors who is an employment counselor who will actually walk you through the process. Because sometimes even I went on and found it difficult at times, especially how to answer the questions appropriately. Also, we have training programs. We have lots of positions for mature workers. Employers have realized within the past couple of years that they can't actually eliminate the employers, the elderly from their, and actually I don't like to call them elderly, but seniors from their roles, because they are the more reliable people. They're finding more and more that the young people are not as reliable. They might go out on a Friday night and get a little loaded, and they don't come back to work on Monday. So they don't have the same work ethics. If you're interested in any of our services, we're having a career fair at Lombardo's on May 27th with about 60 companies, and there'll be a variety of job openings that they will be trying to fill. And like I said, I'll be here afterwards. I don't want to take a lot of time because I know there's a lot of speakers, but if you have any questions, I'll be here to ask them. You can ask me questions, and I'll be more than welcome to answer them. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'm so happy to see the sun.
All right, super. Well, next up is Lorraine Ward from the Department of Transitional Assistance. She is the Acting Assistant Director for SNAP Outreach. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good morning. Is it afternoon already? Morning, everybody. My name is Lorraine Ward. I'm with DTA, which is the Department of Transitional Assistance. I'm with the Outreach Unit, which was newly coming up. We established that unit with the department within the last few months. I'm about a month old in this position. So DTA is, I don't know if any of you have heard of DTA. DTA is a social service agency that provides low-income families help meet their basic needs like food and also, go ahead. DTA is a program that provides low-income families help meet their basic needs like food assistance and also help low-income families get to financial self-sufficiency. We do offer 3 programs, and today I think I'll focus a little bit on the food stamp program, which is the most common program that we provide. We have the cash assistance program that is there to help individuals get assistance to obtain Social Security, and for families with dependent children get some income to supplement their basic needs. But today I will focus mostly on food stamps. So I'll just throw a question out there. I know a lot of you have heard about food stamps. I'm guessing we're familiar with the program, the EBT program. Is there anybody in this room who couldn't use some extra money for grocery shopping or supplemental? I know I could. The food stamp program is an entitlement program. It's almost like your Social Security or SSDI. A lot of times you hear people say, I don't need it, maybe somebody else can use it. But you have to understand that the federal government is providing this assistance for all families, all population, the elderly, disabled, young families. It's there for us to use. So the fact that you don't apply for food stamp assistance doesn't mean that the next family is going to get more. It's all been budgeted for each person to get a certain amount of it, and if you don't apply for it, then it's sitting there. So why not take advantage of it? So it's income-based, and it's based on the number of people who are in a household. So for the sake of today's conversation, I'll give an example of a household of one. You have to be within 200% of the poverty level, which is about $2,000 a month. So if your Social Security or your SSDI is about $2,000 a month, you'd be eligible for the minimum amount at least, which is $16 a month. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's about $192 you get a year that you'd supplement towards your grocery shopping. And then maybe you don't have to use your savings. But aside from that, the program does have other opportunities for somebody to be able to maximize on their SNAP benefits. For instance, if you have medical expenses that you pay for out of pocket, we all pay for transportation to go to the doctor's office. You do pay for your co-payments at the pharmacy. You do pay for your x-ray services, is a portion that you don't pay, Medicare doesn't cover, that you pay out of your pocket. You can file those with the food stamp office and increase your food stamp benefits. So now you have the potential of coming from $16 a month for a one-person household up to $194, depending on how high your medical expenses is. So $194 a month supplementing your benefits, that's about $2,000 in your pocket to use for your food stamp benefits. Aside from having those medical expenses, there are other expenses that we all are responsible for that could also help boost your food stamps. We all pay shelter costs, whether it's through housing or through mortgage expenses or any kind of housing expense that you pay, you can claim that. So it almost works like you with your tax return. You have the income and you have the expenses. We take the expenses into account and we determine how much more you can get for your food stamp benefits. The other program that we have that we've recently introduced, actually before I get to the other program, I know you're talking about heating, fuel assistance. We do provide extra benefits for food stamps if you're responsible for paying any heating costs, including air conditioner. A lot of people don't know that, but just paying a $5 a month on your air conditioner could help you gain a deduction of over $600 in your food stamp benefits, which could easily increase your food stamp benefits. So among other things that we have for deductions, we are here to try and help boost the benefits for our low-income families. Recently, starting April 1st, we introduced a new program which is called the HIP program, the Healthy Incentive Program. And this is a great program that we're working with our local farmers and farm stands, that if you use your food stamp benefits to purchase food stamps at a local farmer's market to buy vegetables and fruits, you get money back. So if I spend $10 to buy fruits and vegetables, I get another $10. This is a program that's there. The funding is there. You could take advantage of it. So if you're a household of one and you did nothing else than just apply for food stamps and you get the minimum amount of $16, you have the potential to get $56 a month by going to your local farmer's market. There's a win-win situation for everybody. You get healthy nutrition, which is good for your health. We're boosting the local economy. We're promoting the farmers and the farm stands, and we are increasing our supplement money to use for our food shopping and not depleting our savings. So we are in the process at the outreach unit of working with different communities, and one of the agencies that we're working with is Council on Aging. Without getting into the details, I'll be here for questions, but the goal that we have as a department is to reach out to our communities, collaborating with the different agencies, and we've been working with Elder Affairs to reach elderly clients, the senior clients, help them get benefits, and maximize these benefits that are there for us to use. So after the presentation, if you have any questions, I'll be here to assist, but thank you again for having us here. Thank you. Sorry.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, next up, housing. Everybody has housing needs, right? Kathy Vicini from, now I'm going to say South Shore Housing, but you changed your name, and I let you, Housing Solutions of the South Shore. Welcome, Kathy Vicini.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. So again, my name is Kathy Vicini. I am the Director of Housing Services at Housing Solutions for Southeastern Mass, formerly South Shore Housing. We are the regional housing agency for this area. Our service area covers all of Plymouth County, all of Bristol County, and a little bit of Norfolk, meaning Weymouth, Randolph, Cohasset, and Holbrook. So we have a very large service area. So we at the agency, our main source of business is that we administer about 2,400 Section 8 vouchers. We administer about 500 Massachusetts rental vouchers. We have about 450 units of affordable housing, and then we have 3 senior properties that we administer. So what I'm here to talk about today is our Housing Consumer Education Center. We call it the HCEC. We're really the front door of our agency. We have staff who can answer any question regarding to housing. If they can't answer it for you immediately, they will find that answer for you and they will call you back. What we do is we assist individuals and households in applying for housing, so we can help you navigate that very confusing subsidized housing market. We offer classes twice a month on how to access affordable housing. We have workshops on how to increase your income, developing a spending plan, credit repair. We do first-time homebuyer classes, how to be a good tenant, tenant rights, responsibilities, and how to be a good landlord. So we offer a whole bunch of different types of education processes, so everybody has all that information. So you can call us at our office. It's 781-422-4200. Talk to any one of our staff. We'd be happy to assist you. With reality out there, Section 8 wait list, 8 to 10 years. I know it sounds daunting, but the sooner you get on the list, the sooner you come back up. A couple of years ago, it was 10 to 12, so it is getting better. It's not where we want it. We're always asking for additional funding to increase that affordable housing, but my staff is here to help you navigate it and help you find those affordable units. Thank you.
Thank you. Very efficient. Excellent. Next up, we're pleased to have Ron Freddy here, who's the program coordinator for the Greater Brockton, Center for Dispute Resolution. So if you have any disputes, you're here to solve them.
We can try to help. Again, my name is Ron Freddy. I'm a Pembroke resident, so I'm glad to be here at the Senior Center. Thank you very much for having us. We are primarily a dispute resolution mediation service. We provide free services to courts, communities, consumers. We do consumer advocacy. We do training. We do juvenile mediation in both Brockton and Plymouth. We handle disputes of all types, family disputes, domestic violence disputes, particularly those that involve juveniles. We handle contracting disputes, business-to-business disputes, consumer disputes with businesses. We really run the whole gamut of dispute resolution. We do have literature in the back that has my business card, our brochures, that has our website on there. If you have any need for additional information, I will remain here after, and you can ask questions or you can access the website, which has all of that information. We also provide dispute resolution training, and we also have a speaker service where we will come out and speak to any group that you're a member of that you require speakers. I just want to point out that we're funded by the state through the Massachusetts Office of Public Collaboration and also by the Attorney General's Office. Part of what the Attorney General's Office has us do is provide information to consumers. On the back table, I have a display with a number of things. Of particular interest is this booklet called Savvy Seniors. And it talks a lot about the scams that seniors are being exposed to. And it seems like more and more and more seniors are being exposed to more and more types of scams. So I have a number of them there. If I run out of them on the top of the table, there are some in a box underneath the table. There are also other brochures in the back from the Attorney General's Office. Guide to Landlord-Tenant Rights. Okay, if you're a tenant or a landlord, it's a good book, a resource to have. Guide to Consumer Credit. You've heard some organizations here speak about credit repair. This gives you good information on how to obtain your credit reports and all of those. Veterans pensions, if there are any veterans in the rooms, how to protect your veterans pensions. And also, this is very important, hiring a contractor. We get into a lot of disputes about people with home remodeling, contractors coming to the door, knocking on the door, saying we're doing work down the street for your neighbor, and he referred you to us, and would like to give you a quote to do A, B, or C. Very important that you make sure that anybody doing home repair is licensed with the state of Massachusetts, therefore you become protected. If you hire people without checking their background to make sure they're a licensed home contractor, you run the risk of fraud, you run the risk of not being able to be reimbursed if they default on any contract that you have. Again, we have a lot of literature on the back table along with my card and brochures, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right, we're pleased. We're here at the Senior Center, so we'd have to have someone from Old Colony Elder Services, and we actually have a couple, but we'd like to introduce Alyssa DeLage. Did I get that right? Close enough. Home Care Director for OCES. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. So it's actually Elisa DeLage, but that's all right. Close. We were close. So as the representative said, I'm the Home Care Program Director at Old Colony Elder Services. So first, has anyone heard of Old Colony or anyone received services in the past? Good, a couple people. Okay. So I'll talk just generally about some of the services we offer and then specific to our home care program. We service, our name kind of is misleading these days because we do service elders and older adults in the community, but nowadays we're also servicing individuals that may be younger with a disability. So we have programs that kind of cover the gamut of ages depending on the individual's needs. The home care program specifically works with 60 and older. And the point of the home care program and our kind of supporting our mission is to keep individuals in the home and independent as long as possible. So we put in supportive services to make that happen. So someone can come to us and they may need something very minimal. They may need assistance with grocery shopping. They can't get out of the house to do their weekly grocery shopping. Or they may just need Meals on Wheels to begin with. And then from there, people typically stay with us for a period of time and may get home health aid once they start to age in place and their needs become greater. So we can provide personal care services. We work with provider agencies throughout the state that put in workers in the individual's home to provide services. So we provide a care management role where we oversee the services in an individual's home. So that's a brief overview of the home care program. And then on top of that, we have different programs that also serve older adults depending on insurance and financial needs. We have a personal care attendant program that's through Mass Health. That's if an individual wants to hire someone on their own to provide services to them. So if you have a daughter or a son or a granddaughter or someone that you're looking to hire to provide services for you. We also have a SCO program. So some of you may have heard of the SCOs. They're the senior care option insurance plans. So we also have a program that provides services underneath those as well. Included in that, we have our information and referral department. So if you ever have questions about any services that may exist within us, you'll call our main number and our information is on the back table. You'll get connected to our information and referral department and they'll help guide the process for you. Underneath information referral, we also have options counseling, and options counseling provides support and guidance when someone's trying to kind of figure out how to navigate this aging process and where exactly they may want to end up. So it's to assist in long-term planning. So we have many, many resources. I encourage you to take a look at the information we have at the back table. And if you ever have questions about possible services in your home, we encourage you to give us a call. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I wrote your name down. I still botched it, so my apologies. All right. Well, we talked about dispute resolution, and sometimes you can't always resolve that, so you may need the services of an attorney. And we have a terrific service for our whole region, really, South Coast and South Shore, the South Coast Coastal Legal Services. I think I might have botched that as well. Lizzie Hinckley is a staff attorney, and she's going to explain all the great services that they offer. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us all today. As Rep. Cutler just mentioned, I will encourage you to go to Mr. Ferday first to see if you can resolve any disputes, and then you come to us. Legal services, well, let me back up. I work at the Justice Center of Southeastern Massachusetts. My office is located in Brockton, but we are a subsidiary of South Coastal County Legal Services, which has offices in Fall River and Hyannis. We serve Plymouth County, Bristol County, Cape and the Islands, as well as Stoughton and Avon. Legal services through our organization is available to all elders 60 and older. In addition to that, if you are not 60 and older, then we provide free civil legal services as well to persons with limited income. We provide a very broad variety of civil legal services. We have dedicated elder attorneys who work specifically with persons over 60 who may have issues with housing, benefits, consumer issues, really anything. We have attorneys dedicated. I myself work mostly with foreclosure. That includes traditional foreclosures of traditional mortgages, as well as reverse mortgages and tax lien foreclosures. If you're being evicted from your home post foreclosure, or if you're a tenant and you're being evicted, or you're having conditions problems in your home, or your landlord is discriminating against you, or you're many things, pretty much anything in the housing context, you can come to us and we will try to assist you in that sometimes daunting process. We have attorneys who assist with students' educational needs, special education, school discipline. We also have attorneys who represent persons who are victims of domestic violence and other family law issues. And we have a number of immigration attorneys as well. We're expanding. We have currently about 35 attorneys throughout our offices, as well as several paralegals, advocates, administrative assistants. And we're proud sponsors of the AmeriCorps program, which provides us with 6 or 7 AmeriCorps volunteers every year who provide vital assistance to our clients. I have many pamphlets that are available to you. I will leave them back there. They are available in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. We're very proud of our language access initiative. We have persons who speak all of those languages in my office, as well as Haitian Creole, French, and Portuguese Creole. So please ask me questions afterwards, and thank you all for hosting us, especially Council on Aging and my fellow panelists. We all rely on each other to provide the best assistance to everyone, so thank you for putting this together.
Great, thank you. Great job. So we have a couple more, and then we'll have. You guys are doing great on time, by the way. I was worried we were going to have someone go on way too long, but you've all been excellent. So Stephen Dunn is the town assessor here in the town of Duxbury. Our Pembroke town assessor couldn't make it this morning. Kathy Samley was terrific. So we have a pinch hitter who's just as terrific. Stephen Dunn's going to talk about something we all can appreciate, is trying to find ways to qualify for property tax relief. So you're going to promise us a cut on our taxes, right, Steve?
I promise nothing. I promise nothing. Good morning, everyone. It's a good crowd here. As Josh said, I'm the assessor over in Duxbury, and I'll explain to you some of the exemptions that are available to property owners, but I would like everybody, if they think any of this information is useful, to call your specific town hall, because each town is going to have a little bit different requirements. Some of these things are income and asset-based, and each town would have their own levels. If you are now see, this is the other thing. In towns, there could be an age difference too. In Duxbury, you have to be 70 years old to receive certain exemptions. Some towns might be 65 as well. All of these dates that your age is based off of is July 1, when you go into a fiscal year. There is something that's referred to as a Clause 17E. In my town, you would get $276 off of your taxes, and that is just an asset-based test. Doesn't require whatever income you have coming in. It's just going to be what you own for assets. Your house is not included in that amount. Any of these exemptions does not include the value of the property as well. You can, if somebody is certified blind by the state, you're allowed a $500 exemption. So that's something that you're going to bring in annually, that certificate, okay, on that particular exemption. The bigger one that we have that most people try, as I earlier said, I'm throwing out a lot of clause things because that's how I refer to them as, But if anything sounds like you are the smidge close to this, you want to call your assessor's office because they're going to want to give you this information. When people call our office, we want to be able to get this out to you so that you can qualify it. If you qualify, you get it. It's not whether we can or can't give it to you. You qualify by these, you're going to get that off your taxes. But a 41D would give you $1,000 off your taxes. Thing is that is income and asset based. It is based on whether you're single or married. So there are different various levels that you're going to go through on that. And there is something that some people might not be aware of, is that you can actually defer your taxes, depending upon your age. Now, you don't have to defer all your taxes. If you say, hey, my tax bill is $4,000 a year, but I only want to pay $2,000, you can defer that $2,000. So at the time of sale that property is sold, that tax is due. If the person owns the property and dies while owning it, then 30 days after that date is when that is due. But these are all things that you can talk to your local assessor about because they're more than happy to give you this information. So there are a number of different avenues to reduce your taxes. I don't know if everybody here is from Pembroke, and I don't even know if Pembroke has a CPA, but it's fairly easy to qualify to get exempt from that because the income levels on those are extremely high. Could take $40 or $50 off your bill, but still it's $40 or $50 that's going to come off of your bill. There is also the work-off program, which I think they have over here. In my town, we actually kind of split that duty between the senior center and my office. I think over here in Pembroke, it's entirely dealt with by the senior center here. So that's another avenue in my town. You get $1,000 off your taxes for that. And that is the one exemption that you can combine with another one. So if you worked senior work off, you get $1,000 off there. And if you qualified for the 41D, you could get another $1,000 off as well. And also, if anyone in the room is a veteran and you have a 10% disability, you can get $400 off your taxes. If you have further disabilities that can be verified by the VA, you could get higher amounts that go up to $1,000 or a complete exemption as well. So there's a number of these things available, and I can't stress enough to contact your local assessors because even people in my town, they won't pick up the phone. We send information, and then finally, after years and years, they finally come in and get qualified. So the key thing is to contact your assessor. You can generally look on their website. If they don't have anything on the site or you don't have access to that, make sure you just give them a call. Okay?
All right. The circuit breaker is not really for your office, is it?
Yeah, circuit breaker is something that you want to deal with your accountant.
Okay. So there's another program called the circuit breaker, the senior circuit breaker, which is a tax credit on your state taxes that you can qualify for it based on different income levels as well.
Yeah, and it has to do with the value of your house, and I think the value is...
The values are pretty high, so
yeah, that's the thing. I think the value right now is in the low 800s, so a lot of people would qualify.
yes, I would qualify. And there's handouts here as well. Thank you, Steve. And so last, but certainly not least, we're pleased to have a former colleague of mine, Rhonda Nyman, who's here from the Plymouth County Sheriff's Office. And I believe, and your guests are going to chat briefly about what some of the services the sheriff offers. Welcome. Come on down.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I'd just like to say thank you to Representative Josh Cutler for hosting today's event, and thank everybody, the panelists and everybody for coming out today. There was a lot of great information, and so my name is Rhonda Nyman. I do government affairs for the Plymouth County Sheriff, Joseph McDonald, and we're here today to briefly talk about what we do at the Sheriff's Department, along with Becky Lee, who does the community outreach program there. So we have a couple of things we'd just like to run by you, let you know what we do down there in Plymouth, and so here I'll turn it over to Becky Lee.
Hi. Our most underutilized program, our most important program to me is our safety assurance program, which used to be called the Are You OK? That's a free phone call from the Sheriff's Department that's made every morning. You pick the time between 6 a.m. and noontime, and it just checks to see if you're okay. And it's very simple. It's so quick, unintrusive. Everyone says, oh, what if I'm not home? We'll call you again. It's the best program out there. It just checks on your well-being. All you have to do is press a button to say, yes, I'm okay, and it's done. If there's a problem, you say, yes, I have a problem. There is a person sitting that is there to answer any questions, send medical help. We've saved lives through the program several times. Our most recent was a stroke victim. She was having a stroke. She couldn't get to the phone. They were able to get into her house, get her to the hospital on time. So it's a great program, totally underutilized. Everyone says we're not ready for that. But it has nothing to do with your age. It's all in living alone. If you have no one there and you trip and fall, there's a problem. Our other program is the Code Red program, which you're probably all on already. If you have a regular phone, you know, the old-fashioned plug into the wall, you're already on the program. And we'll call you for emergency situations, road closing, missing persons. And if you would like to put your cell phone or you have an unlisted number, you can just call us and we'll put you on. We have a fabulous farm that nobody seems to know about. It's beautiful, it's free. We have a free petting zoo. We have all kinds of events, including our Mother's Day event, which is coming up May 13th from 10 to 1. There's free T-shirts for the kids. There's animals, lizards, all creepy animals that the kids seem to love that I don't. There'll be plants for sale to the public. It's a great event. It's free to the public. I mean, the plants are not, but everything else is free. Yes, we have all kinds of events there. It's beautiful. It's at Exit 5 on Obery Street. And last but not least, I'm sure you're all familiar with Lisa Budge Johnson. She's been here several times speaking. We have a speaker series program. We talk about identity theft, scams, charitable giving, how to become an informed donor for charities. And sadly, we have a fun program, which is the history of the jail, which tells you what the jail does, what the department does. And then sadly, our newest program that we've added is Household Ties, what the kids are, prescription drugs that they're getting access to at your home. So we have a whole speaker series. She'll come out anytime to any group. And that's pretty much it. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Thank you.
Nice job.
And the brochures are all on the back table.
All right, great. So we're doing great on time. Before we get to our Q&A, I wanted to just introduce one more person. If you have a question that didn't get answered and you're not sure where to go, you should start with my office, me, because that's why we're here to help. And you most often will get my legislative aide, Cole, who's in the back. Wave Cole. Hello, Cole. And so he will help you, and we'll talk about it, and we'll probably try to steer you to the right people. But we're in all situations, you can be your first point of contact. So we're here to help whatever the constituent issue might be. So wanted to introduce Cole. So we have some time. We have lunch in the back, but before we get to lunch, wanted to kind of open the floor to folks. If you have a general question that might benefit everyone, we want to hear it, and our different panelists would love to answer it. If you have a real specific question, personal to yourself, you might want to wait till afterwards and you can talk about folks individually. But does anybody have any general questions for any of our terrific panelists? Let's have some good ones. Who do we got? Yes.
She had mentioned the farm.
The farm. A question about the farm?
Yeah, and she said everything was free. Does that mean you can go in there and get produce for free?
No. There's a free petting zoo there.
Oh.
You can walk the
Free to get in.
Free to get in.
But do you sell
They sell
produce?
plants, not produce.
Oh, okay.
No, they sell plants to the public. They're comparable in pricing to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot,
Okay.
but they're beautiful quality, beautiful plants.
Okay.
And the kickoff to the season is Saturday, May 13th from 10 to 1, that you can buy plants and all the other yard work, which I don't know anything about.
Yeah. Well, I had a follow-up to that, but that answered it. So
That answered that?
I don't
Okay.
need the follow-up.
All right, very good. Other questions? I see one in the back. Shy.
Sorry, can I add?
Yes.
I completely forgot. The proceeds from all the sales at the farm goes right into the prison canteen fund to fund that program. So it's not a for-profit for the plants. Thank you. I did forget that.
Oh, yes, Bert.
Could you tell us a little more about alternative training for alternative dispute resolution?
Sure, the question was, can we tell us a little bit more about the training for alternative dispute resolution? I will turn it over to Ron.
Thank you for that question. If anybody didn't hear the question, it was more about the training for alternative dispute resolution. We have a couple of different types of training. We have a 2-hour overview training on dispute resolution, tactics for dispute resolution, how to handle disputes, what to do if you're involved in a dispute. We also train mediators. There's a 32-hour qualification program in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, mediators aren't licensed, but there is protection under a statute under Mass law that protects mediators who have attended a 32-hour mediation program. So we run that program about once a year. It is a fee-based tuition. However, it's on a sliding scale for income. And what we do from that group who get trained, oftentimes people volunteer. We host volunteer mediators at the Greater Brockton Center for Dispute Resolution. They attend small claim sessions, attend other trainings, juvenile mediations, those types of things. And what we do is we refund the tuition in the event that you decide to volunteer for our organization after the fact. And by volunteer, it's like once a week for an hour or two. That can be as little as 6 months, and then you would get your tuition refunded. We also do training for businesses who are interested in having skills-based dispute resolution on how to handle customer complaints, those types of things. Does that answer you? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Great. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What are a couple of the most common scams?
A couple of the most common scams. Lizzie or Ron, who wants to? Okay.
There are a few going around right now, particularly targeting seniors, and they're mentioned in this book. Pick up this book. It has a lot of the scams here. Hello, Grandma. Hello, Grandma. You know, this is your favorite granddaughter? Oh, Judy. Yes, this is Judy, and I'm in big trouble, and I don't want my parents to know. I took off, and now I'm down in Florida on spring break, and you know, I got in some trouble, and now I need $400 to get out of trouble. And I don't want my parents to know because I'll be really, really in big trouble. So I need you to go to Walgreens to get me a gift card and call these people back with the number, and they'll let me go. You know, that's a scam. A jury duty scam. Less often for seniors because a lot of seniors are exempt from jury duty, but the jury duty scam is that we're calling to let you know that the judge has issued a bench warrant for your arrest because you failed to come to jury duty. What? I never got notified to go to jury duty. Oh yeah, the judge is mad. You know, he said everybody that didn't show up today is getting a bench warrant and the police are going to be coming to arrest you. I never got a notice. Well, I have a list here. Let me check. Spell your last name for me. You know, and what's your social security number? And what's your date of birth? You know, and people take that information, and unfortunately, people give it. People give the information over the phone. The other one is the IRS. I'm calling from the IRS or the FBI, and we're letting you know that a summons has been issued for your arrest because you owe back taxes. And the amount you owe is $4,442, and you need to pay it immediately, or you're going to be arrested. The IRS will never call you at home. They might send you a nasty-looking certified letter, but they will never call you at home. So anytime anybody calls you and says that they're from some organization and you need to send them money, it's a scam. So those are some of the more common scams, and there are unfortunately a bunch more.
There's another, Comcast is another one.
Okay.
Where they threaten to shut off your Comcast account unless you give them this updated information. And again, they ask your address, your name, your social security number, and then, you know, you've given it away. But think of if that's your only source of information is your Comcast, you panic and give the information. But they're all, unfortunately, they're
We've had folks call our office with those very cases, so it is happening. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
Great question. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I apologize for being late coming in here. Just wondering who I would talk to about a problem with an insurance company.
Problem with an insurance company. So I guess it depends. Could be Ron again, he's popular, or Lizzie, who does legal services. What kind of insurance? Not to get homeowners insurance, or maybe Kathy could answer a question about that. Okay, so afterwards, maybe see Kathy, Ron, or Lizzie. All right, and one of the three of them can probably help you. Or all three, yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
So maybe you can help me. It kind of relates to the scams on
Yes.
telephones. We get telemarketing calls all the time, and even if you're on the state or federal no-call list, even the Healy, you know, the Attorney General, says she gets them too, and it's like, maybe something has to be done at the state level to try to, fix this problem. It's harassing.
So the great question. So the question was about being on the do not call list and still getting harassing phone calls from all kinds of folks, and it does still happen. It happens to me as well. There is legislation up there dealing with mobile phones, because that's an issue for folks even who are on the do not call list. There are exemptions in the do not call list for nonprofit groups, and those do get there are legitimate exemptions, but there's also they do get abused as well. And there are folks who just disregard the whole list and you just can't catch. So that is a challenge as well. So all those things. So there is some legislation up there. Some of it can be solved by legislation. Some of it, unfortunately, is more of an enforcement issue, and it's kind of policing the bad actors. So I know it's something that we're looking at. There's not a simple solution, or we would probably have done it. But thank you. That's a great question.
Also, they're from out of the country.
Yeah. I mean, you can very easily fish your number and show that it looks like local, but it's from somewhere very far away.
If you get a lot of calls from the same people, like in the past 2 days, I've got 6 calls from a customer service number. They're all the same people, but they're all different numbers. And I'm writing the numbers down and keeping it consistent. And
Have you spoken to them, or has it all been?
I've tried to speak to them, and I've checked delete.
No, it is upsetting. We all get those sales calls, and I think the best thing to do is to answer them and just say, please take me off your list. Because if you ignore them, they'll just keep calling you. They won't give up. They're very persistent in that way. But you can try the do not call list, but again, if they have different numbers they're calling from, it makes it challenging as well. So those are some gaps in sort of where we need to, as policymakers, try to find better solutions.
I just discovered if you have Comcast and you have a computer, then it brings up your call list and you can block the call.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you can only block 25, and I ran out of 25.
So we need to increase the number from 25 to higher. That's good. Good point. They change numbers. I thought I saw one other hand. Did I miss? Oh, yes, ma'am.
Phone call that goes into my home phone, it shows on my TV screen who it is, and I just don't answer it.
So just sometimes with Comcast, the incoming phone call will show on the TV screen, and you can choose not to answer it if you don't wish. So that's a good point as well. Oh, yes, sir.
As respects real estate taxes, what's a work-off program?
A work-off program. So basically, you can work for the town and accrue hours that then get deducted from your property taxes. There's a cap, so I think it's $500. 46 hours in Pembroke. So essentially, yeah, you could volunteer for the senior center, and instead of getting paid for that time, you get a credit on your property taxes.
You get the paperwork.
I'm not sure about that. That's the assessor could probably answer that question. Yeah. So look, it sounds like you got some experts here who can help you, and Mr. Dunn is still here from Duxbury who can answer that as well. But I'd encourage you to check that out because it is a popular program, and I know a lot of folks. I think folks work here at the library, at Town Hall, doing the work-off program. All right, so we're doing well on time. So a couple things. One is I'm going to deputize all of you as ambassadors here. Now that you've heard about all these great services that are available, some of them will apply to you, many of them won't, but all of you know someone who would benefit from at least one of them. And so I would encourage you to spread the word and help us to make those connections, because again, it's knowing the right person to go to for help that's often the toughest step. So please, as our ambassadors for we're all in this together, share the wealth, let people know what's out there as you go forth. We have time. We have lunch in the back on me. So please have some lunch, and then please our great panel is going to stick around and come up and ask them questions. They've all brought literature as well. This is part of the process, and we want you to encourage you to come up and ask questions. Hope you can benefit from it. And again, since I will lose my audience, I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank our great panel. We appreciate all your time. And I want to thank folks on PAC TV for checking in.